I start. Sapna, what should I do? Right now? Hari Om, everyone. May I please request all present here to switch off their phones if possible, because it'll be very helpful. And we are just beginning with the Purna Kumbha.
ॐ न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां बिभ्राजते तत्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विपापं परमेश्वभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सग्गस्तं तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यम् यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः आज की जय.
We begin this program by invoking our prayers. May everyone please join in doing the prayers. Om Sahnau Bhavatu Sahnau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadidamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadguru Brahma Vidvaram. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Chinmaya Mission Mumbai and Chinmaya Prakash Zone, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Pujya Swami Swatmanandji and everyone present here to be a part of this concluding talk of our 6-month-long series on spirituality in parenting, which is known as SIP. It is so heartening. It is so heartening to see so many of us gathered here, seeking to reflect and rediscover this ever-evolving journey of parenting and nurturing the next generation. Today's insightful talk by Swami Swatmanandji is Love versus Attachment, and it is definitely going to enlighten all of us and help us carve our path of parenting more effectively. It's a great honor and immense pleasure for me to introduce Swami Swatmanandji to all of you. Swamiji is one of those rare teachers who can take the timeless wisdom of our scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, and the Vedanta and make it beautifully relevant to our everyday life. He shows us that spirituality is not something different from our everyday living. It is a way of thinking acting and relating with awareness and joy in every moment. After completing his graduation in commerce and software engineering, Swamiji chose a very unusual and a very unconventional path. He joined the Vedanta course at the Sandipani Sandhalalaya at Powai in Mumbai in 1998, and after 2 years of intense study and reflection, he began serving the Chinmaya mission full time in the year 2000. For the past 25 years, he has been a guiding force of light, sharing his wisdom through thoughts, youth workshops, meditation retreats, corporate sessions, podcasts, and YouTube videos. His initiatives like the Learn the Gita, Live the Gita course and the creation of the Chinmaya Pradeep Vision Park, ref- reflecting the life of Swami Chinmayananda at the Pavai Ashram, reflects his creativity and commitment to making Vedanta very experiential and practical. Be it speaking to children, youth, or professionals, Swamiji has a remarkable ability to connect with everyone, blending depth with humor and insight with warmth. His mission is to make spirituality vibrant and dynamic, to help each one of us discover our inner strength, balance, and purpose while serving society with love and dedication. And on a personal note, Swamiji has deeply touched my life and that of my children too. His talks and guidance have helped us see life with great clarity and calm, and we remain truly grateful for the inspiration he continues to bring to our family. With heartfelt gratitude, we welcome you, Swami Swatmanandji, and thank you for being such a source of light and learning in our lives.
Hari Om. Check this input, this input, the remote of this. No, projector control is not there. Projector का input button दबाओ. Give it here. हाँ. That source has to be there, na? This is input one. Source search. See, this is in computer one, that's why. Why is the HDMI off? You have to put on the down. See. If any projector switches are there, put it all down on. Niche put on all the switches. Down. Then why is it not showing here? Check there. Any switches there are on, not on? No, from here. Try this one. It's showing all the inputs off only. No, that is the setting. That is not. Yeah, but that's what he's saying. It's off now. Why is it showing off? See, source is HDMI 1 only. That is for the audio. That has nothing to do with the video. Let's see if any challenge is here. It is not detecting only. It should detect this thing, no? The display it has to detect. That is not detecting. Anyway, it's okay, we'll do it without this also, not a problem. Some video you won't be able to see, that's all. It will be very slow. It won't, no? We are not done on Zoom. This is on YouTube. Some loose connection or something, I don't know why. You can see the HDMI cords plugged in there behind. Okay, one more chance. One minute. Let us see if this works. You restarted it. Sorry for this technical issue, just give it 2 minutes more. It's okay, some challenge here. We'll do it without it. That's all. That's fine. इसको ऑफ करके ऊपर कर. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. Hari Om, salutations to all. So, this is the last in this series of talks, Spirituality in Parenting, SIP. How many of you have come for earlier sessions? Okay, very good. So today's topic is love versus attachment. So let's start with simple question. What is love? Anyone? Acceptance. That's the result of love. And I can accept even when there is no love. Accident happens, I have to accept. Somebody does something to me, I have to accept. I need not have love for acceptance. Dissolving. Acha. It is that anger also is intense emotion. Bond. When there is love, there is a bond. Or when there is a bond, love happens. Selflessness. Okay? Being there for somebody as an expression of love. Swamiji pata nahi hai bas. We feel it, that's all. Caring, expression of love. Something fuzzy in our heart happens, butterflies in the stomach happens. Something people think that is love. So Gurudev defined love very nicely. When I say Gurudev, it means our Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananji. So he used to say that love is identification with the beloved. In one word, if you have to define love, it is identification. When we say, I love my child, you identify, no? This is my child. Sometimes one feels this is me only in another form. Sometimes people try to connect, no, this grandfather has come in this form. Something people try to identify, they say this. So, if I say I love my country, what does that mean? I identify with some aspects of this country that, okay, this country is so spiritual or so diverse, or there's such variety, whatever, I identify with it, then I feel that emotion that rises in my heart, I feel that is love. And then, what is attachment? Attachment is surrender. Then we are very attached to God, is it? Because we say be surrender to God. That means be attached to God. But that is love then. But that is only love, na? Identification with what I want. Correct. So now I'm going to ask you a few questions. You have to tell me whether that statement is a statement of attachment or love. Okay? It doesn't have to be applied to your life specifically. It is a general understanding whether it is a statement telling us about love or attachment. Okay? So for example, I must have coffee first thing in the morning. Is it love or attachment? Whether you have coffee or not doesn't matter. I must have coffee first thing in the morning, it is attachment. Like that now. Exercises are a must in one's life. Attachment or not? So let us say in this question you answer whether it is attachment or not. Love or attachment you don't have to answer. You answer it as, is it attachment or not attachment? Exercises are a must in life. Is it attachment or not attachment? Not attachment. I want to be successful. Wanting is attachment. I to functionally भी use करना पड़ेगा ना. I want to be successful. See, wanting is not attachment. Insistence is attachment. Only if I am successful, then I am happy, then that is attachment. Without friends, I cannot be happy. That is attachment. I have to work daily. For livelihood, we may have to work daily. There is nothing. But if somebody is very restless, saying कि भाई एक दिन भी, without work I can't sit quietly, then that is attachment to work. I depend on servants for work. Attachment, big attachment. The mood of the day is determined by that. Whether that servant has come, if they have come on time. If they have come on time, they do what we have told them. I need car to travel. Full attachment. There are so many people who say, I've never allowed my child to go in a train. And I see some young people in South Bombay and all, they say, who goes by cab? Why? Why can't you go by cab? Why can't you go by bus? No, they want car only. Because they've been pampered and brought up in such ways. Cell phone is necessary to communicate. Attachment. There are so many ways to communicate, but today one is very attached. My work is my passion. My work is my passion. I love my work. It's not attachment. I feel miserable if I don't do my spiritual practice. Attachment. I should take medicines for my BP. Yeah. Attachment or not, yes or no, you have to say not attachment. So if anybody is taking, please continue, okay? Don't say ki Swamiji said be detached, no dependency on anything. So today onwards I throw away this. No. I look forward to the company of my beloved. Why? You look forward. It is not attachment. I love pizzas, burger, french fries, pasta. Why attachment? Why I can't love? It's not attachment. The moment we think all this, we think कि नहीं खाना चाहिए, खाना है मतलब attachment है. No. If I love them, it's all right. Money is most important. Without it, nothing happens. Attachment. My child is my life. I am not able to drop work when I have to. Attachment. My guru will give me moksha. Not attachment. Very big attachment. Nobody can give you moksha, okay? If somebody is telling you, I'm giving you moksha, you need moksha from that person actually. Run from that person first. If anybody could give moksha, people would have been happy, just like that, fatafat moksha ho jata. Krishna Bhagavan gave Arjun what? Knowledge. Or he gave him moksha saying, Arjun, aaja mere paas. Touched. Ho gaya mukti. Khatam baat. Bhagavan himself cannot give moksha like that. It is ignorance in my head, I have to figure out. So the point of doing all this was what? To understand what is an attachment and what is love. Love is identification with the beloved. Attachment is a psychological dependency on something or someone or some situation for my happiness. So Gurudev used to say, I plus I want this object for my happiness. That is equal to attachment. Without this I can't be happy. Na? That equation when we make, then that is attachment. It can be person, it can be situation, it can be a particular behavior, it can be anything. I plus this object is equal to happiness. That is a psychological dependency. That is called attachment. Now when we come to relationship, when we come to children, that is where so much of attachment will come into play. Because there is a psychological dependency is there. So we will see that how this is very important to understand. What are the attachment equations we make in our life? First we see general, then we come to parenting. So when we say I plus object is equal to happiness, this is the general equation. Now in this each one will have their own. I plus this, let us say latest iPhone Pro Max, orange color it has come somewhere. If I have that, and people stand in line for that. 2 दिन, 3 दिन, why I want to get that first model? कोई बात नहीं भैया, 1 महीने के बाद ले लो. For that why you standing 2 months? No. But that attachment will be there, then one wants. Without that I don't feel happy. I plus this particular promotion is equal to success. I plus this person is equal to love. I plus that admission in that university is equal to I have achieved something, you know. So when we create these psychological dependencies, that is called attachment. Now this when we create for in relationships. One very important point about attachment is in attachment I am more important. In love the beloved is more important. Not that I am not important. I am also important. I take care of myself. Self-love if I don't have, I can't love people. If I am not happy, if I am not loving, I am not kind to myself, I can't be loving, kind, compassionate to others. But more focus goes, when I love, then the happiness of the beloved is my happiness. My focus is on making them happy. Not that what they do, how am I benefiting out of that. And what is the whole love there is then centered on I, then that becomes attachment. So, when one understands this very clearly, in love and attachment, now we come to the specifics. Before I go into that part, this is one simple reflection sheet. So, you have understood love and attachment. In love, there is identification, there is a certain oneness. One identifies, you know, suppose you go outside India and you meet some Indian there. Then how you feel? Arey, Indian, arey, bhai. Here, ready to fight also with somebody. There, arey, Indian, because you suddenly identify. So, that is love. And the expression of that will happen, the more the love is, the more one wants to make the beloved happy. In attachment, the more dependency will be there, the more will be my insistence on the way I want things to happen. So ego is more powerful in attachment. And so the equation of attachment is I plus the object is equal to happiness. Now here is one simple self-reflection sheet. This has 20 questions. You have to, go serially, one by one. Don't see the whole thing, okay? Page by page you go and answer. These are 20 questions. You choose what is your natural response. Don't choose, oh, ideally it should be like this, so I'm choosing this answer. No, no. How you respond, that you answer. And so it's up to you for your reflection. Just distribute this. Each question has 3 options. You choose what is your response. This is only for self reflection. This is not for judgment, or this is not to uh, point to somebody else something. This is for oneself. So, as it is said, this is a mirror, it's not a report card. If you say, Swamiji, 3 choices, may say all the 3 I am doing, or 2 I am doing. No, you have to choose one. Predominant one, main one, you have to choose that. And don't worry, you don't have to submit it to me. So I'm not going to sit and evaluate kiska response kya tha, kaun kaisa hai. This is for you. Yeah, do you encourage independence even if it means less control? Yeah. People don't want to make their children independent, no? They want full control. Child can't do anything that the child wants. Child has to do what exactly I want. That's a, that is a, in general, if we say for the good of the child, if they are doing something harmful, you obviously control and stop that. But we are talking in this context where the child is capable of thinking clearly. Still, I want control. So that's the question. Do you encourage independence? The more the child becomes independent, the control that I have will reduce. No? Then child is responsible for their choices and the consequences, right? So that's what this question is. Done? So if we have to do this evaluation of this, now get that remote. यहाँ से तो जा ही रहा है. It is going from here. Maybe today it's not in your prarabdha to see. Doesn't matter. Yeah, no attachment to it, it's all right. I just wanted you to see Gurudev's video nicely, so it doesn't matter, we'll send you in this thing. So this questionnaire when we have sent, what was the point of doing this exercise here is to reflect. Again, as we saw, there is no right or wrong answer in that sense. It's not a judgment on you. The point here is to understand what is love and what is attachment, especially when we come in the context of parenting now. So when there is love, the love is rooted in the well-being of the child. As we saw, love is for, in love, beloved is more important. When there is attachment, then it is rooted on us. So example, what is the true interest of a child? Love is to encourage that. To help the child to explore, to identify, to choose a field based on the true interest, what we call in the Gita as Swadharma. Attachment will be what? I want you to be a doctor. हमारे खानदान में आज तक कोई डॉक्टर नहीं हुआ, तुमको डॉक्टर बनना है. अरे he or she may not have temperament for that. But then in attachment that is more important. So one is acting out of ego. So basis of action is not the growth of the child. Basis of action is what? My ego. In love there is, so when we say love, freedom and love go together. You know, one very nice thing Vivekananda ji and Sister Nivedita, there was a nice conversation between them. So they were sitting on the banks of one lake, and Vivekananda ji took some water and he closed his fist. Then again, after some time, he took some water, closed his fist. And he asked her, What do we learn from this? What do you think can be a learning from this? He took water in the fist, closed it. How much ever you try to hold on to things, they will slip away. So the nature of attachment is like that. When we try to possess, it will slip out. For some time, we may be able to hold on to something, but it won't be there at all times. The nature of love is freedom. The nature of attachment is possessiveness. And the more we try to be possessive, more control we want, more sorrow only it will lead to. See, when a child is very small, doesn't have the Vivek Shakti to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, at that point in time, one has to insist in certain things, and the obedience is an important quality in a child. But as the child grows, then what is the objective? Suppose I ask you in one word, if you have to summarize parenting role, what is your role as a parent? Okay, guide, independent. Anything else? Self-reliant. Very important. If that is clear in my mind, the child has to be independent. And our mind works many times in contradictions. We want full possessiveness and control also, and yet we want freedom also. And that's why for some of the parents, the Balvihar class for the child is a freedom. If you tell them you come, you also get trained, be with the child. No. This is my time. Sometimes, in the school, in the summer vacations, they'll ask, Swamiji, do you have a camp? Say, yeah, we have. So we do 4 days camp, family camp and all that. No, do you have, like a summer camp for a month? Because, he is free. He can come for 4-5 hours in a day. Because that is the freedom I want. कि अरे इससे पीछा छूटे भाई 5 घंटे तो मुझे time मिले अपने लिए. So I want that also, and I want full control also. The child should do exactly what I say. Have you as children ever asked your parent, can I go to sleep now? Can I go for playing now? I have never asked. Today's children, everything they have to ask and do. Mummy, can I play? Mummy, can I watch video game? Mummy, can I go? Arey bhai, kitna? Right? Till the child is small, okay, you have to guide. But after that, the child is now 8 years old, 10 years old. Still, everything one has to ask. Mummy ko pooch ke, can I wear this red dress? Arey pehen na. If I used to go and ask, suppose I ask my mother, ki bhai, shall I wear this? Shall I wear that? If it is some important occasion, something I want to ask, that's a different thing. Every single day if I go and ask, she will then fire me only, saying, what are you? You don't have brains or what? So, control and freedom. When there is love, we want to give freedom. We want to make them independent. They have to become strong. That is born out of our security and our love. People think that if they become free, they will not be caring anymore. And the whole relationship game, in every relationship, not only in parent-child, in every relationship, so many things that happen are all born out of control. Even in a husband-wife relationship, you see how much people think, "Arey, usko daba ke rakho, anguthe ke niche, nahi to khisak jayegi." Arey, what is this? So think about it. So when there is love, there is freedom and guidance. Beautifully, two of them they said. One of them said guidance, one of them said independence, and that is the purpose. So in love there is freedom and guidance. In attachment there is control and wanting to conform. Control and conform is attachment. You have to conform to what I am saying. So even simple things, pocket money. I don't know if today all that exists. In our time it was there. Once you grow up a little age, then you get pocket money. Then you can spend what you want to spend, Do parents do that today? Or they just give everything that the child wants? Little tantrum child has to throw, leke aa jao. our parents, so yeah, you don't get it, khatam baat nahi hai, we can't afford it. Bata denge ki bhai no, this we cannot afford. Now finished. Actually, you are growing up with the reality, you understand what is the situation of the family. So at some age, they once you grow, then they give pocket money. So when we used to get pocket money, so my grandmother used to give me 5 rupees pocket money, monthly 5 rupees. And she will tell me, you have to show me the account of this 5 rupees. Where have you spent? And her excuse was that so you will learn to maintain accounts and you will learn to keep track of what your expenditure is and this and that. And my father used to say to my grandmother, if you are giving 5 rupees as pocket money, give him the freedom to spend what he wants to spend and don't ask. They both had their own arguments. I used to enjoy my 5 rupees. The point is that when you give, in attachment, what will happen? Everything has to be in control. Sab kuch. Arey, what will I do maximum? I will spend little over in some chocolate or some biscuit or something. That's all will happen. Beyond that, what will happen? Or maybe something wrong one will end up doing. So that fear will be there. That whether one gives 5 rupees and sees the accounts or not, that if one wants to do something wrong, one will still go and do. One will figure out all that. So the point is this, that when there is control, to a certain extent there can be control. After that, what will the child do? Start hiding, start rebelling. That's what the child will do. So in attachment there is control and conform. In love there is freedom and guidance. In attachment, suppose there is a mistake. How does one respond to mistake? One will take it personally, react, shout, get angry. Even scold the child, what a dumb fellow you are, you don't know even this much. What have I, one will take it upon oneself saying, what have I taught you so far? And sometimes people start doubting their parenting also. Where did I go wrong? If a child makes a wrong choice, the parents start blaming oneself saying, where did I go wrong in my parenting? You may not have gone wrong at all. It may be the child's karma, it may be the child is still, wanting to do something and see the consequence of it. Who knows? In love, if a mistake is made, the response will be to see how to salvage that situation, to see how to provide some guidance so that the next time it doesn't happen. To love is to forgive. Gurudev used to say, God gives and forgives. Man gets and forgets. That is how human being is. So that is again love and attachment. Sense of identity. In love, what will be the sense of identity for a child? In the mind of a parent, what is the child's identity? Can you guess? The child is its own self, right? In attachment, me, my version, how I want the child to be. In love, the clarity is this child is a jiva, is an independent entity who has come with his or her karma and baggage. I am here only to facilitate, give the right environment. Gurudev always gave this example of a seed. So he used to say that the parent has to be like a farmer. The farmer sows the seeds. And then farmer can give everything right environment. So you sow the seed, then you give the water, you give the manure, you give the sunlight, everything. But what is inside that seed will germinate. Parent can't force. Now this seed I have sown. They may have sown apple seed, only apple will come out of it. In the example of the farmer, at least one knows this is an apple thing, so one knows apple is expected. Here one doesn't know. Which jiva has come with what baggage, one doesn't know. I can only give the right environment. So in attachment, there will be a certain insistence and push. Suppose the child is a very quiet, introverted child. Now the parent is more extroverted and party, socialize, this, that, and the child doesn't want to do. Now attachment will be what? Force the child. Love will be, you try to introduce the child to that certain way of socializing, but if the child is not taking to it, it's all right, give that freedom. Where we respect the individuality of the child. So that is again attachment and love in identity. Then emotional state. In love, the parent's emotional state is what? Comfort, security, peace. In attachment, the parent's emotional state is fear, stress, insecurity. So from where is my parenting born? From where is it expressing? Am I expressing out of security? Do I have security within myself as an individual? And do I trust my child? Or do I have insecurity as a person by myself, and now I project that onto my child, other relationships also? So then attachment it will come from there. You see how many times, one simple example again if I give you in Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra was born blind. But he was powerful. He did what all he could do to ensure that he is a very powerful person as an individual. Just that physically he can't see. Still, that thought process, कि I am blind, there was a certain level of inferiority in his mind. Now, because of that inferiority, and because he was blind, what happened? He could not become the king. Bhishma wanted to make him the king, and Vidur said, no, no, no. A blind person is not qualified to be a king, because there are so many things that the king has to be careful about and very alert, and people can, easily manipulate the king who is not, even a king who has all the senses intact gets manipulated. What to talk about somebody else? So Vidur raised an objection, so finally Pandu had to become the king. So Dhritarashtra felt very bad, saying, I couldn't become the king. It was his desire to be that king. But you see how fate plays. So when he was feeling bad, he couldn't become the king. Then what happened? Eventually Pandu had to go away into the forest and he died there. Dhritarashtra became the king. But did his inferiority go? His inferiority never went. Now when his inferiority did not go, he brought up his children. The children also have grown up with that sense of inferiority, insecurity. He wanted to become the king, he became the king also, but his inferiority continued with him. And so we find even in the Pandavas, in the Kauravas, they are continuously doing what? Comparing with the Pandavas. They are 100 in number, but Pandavas are only 5. And still their comparison goes on. So if a person understands this, that what is my emotional state will definitely affect my child. The child has to see me happy, secure, strong. Not that I don't go through my ups and downs, but overall, am I as a person? How am I as a person? My identity. If I am secure, then out of that strength I will operate. If I am insecure, out of insecurity when I operate, then it will be attachment which will come out. And so though they got everything, see, Kauravas had every single thing, whatever they wanted they had, but they were so jealous and insecure. Technically they are not supposed to be having the kingdom also. Yudhishthira is supposed to become the king, because Dhritarashtra was only a caretaker king. Still, what happened? He divided the kingdom into 2 halves. Gave the barren part of the kingdom to the Pandavas. And think about it, with all comforts, conveniences, everything, the Kauravas are growing up in the palace. They have not gone through the hardships that these Pandavas have gone through. Yet they are so insecure, and Kauravas and Pandavas were brought up in a forest, away from their, grandfather and Bhishma Pitama and so many of these people, away from all of them. Still they grew up to be secure and strong. So what is important is that how Kunti, and imagine Kunti, we are talking about single motherhood, single parenting today. Kunti did that that time. Pandu died, Madri immolated herself. Kunti is one alone lady, she has to bring up 5 children, and when they come back also they are treated so badly. Continuously challenges are there in their lives. But her faith in dharma and she doesn't swerve from the path of dharma. Not once she told that go and retaliate and give it back to all these Kauravas. Nothing. Not, and she did not doubt her parenting also. That is beautiful aspect there, because she is secure as a lady, anchored in bhakti towards Bhagavan. So, that is the emotional state of the person. When anything the child changes, suppose, what is the response to the change? In love, there will be gracious adaptation. You want the child to do something, the child does something else. Figures out some better way of doing something. In love, there is acceptance, adaptation, change. In ego, in this in the attachment, what will happen? One will cling on to the old. Make the child punish also. You didn't do what I told you. Who told you to apply your head? Now you do this in my way, and do some punishment for not doing it my way also. All. So, these are few aspects. So what will be the outcome? The outcome will be when out of love a person brings up the child. There will be the child who will be strong, positive, happy, confident. And out of attachment, when one brings up, then what happens? The child will grow up to be scared, always wanting validation, always needing some approval, waiting for some, instruction, can't take a lead immediately. So, what is the Gita telling us in the Mahabharata, based on Mahabharata, in the Gita, beautifully Bhagavan says in 3rd chapter, Tasmat asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. Asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purusha. At all times, Bhagavan says, act out of detachment. Tasmat asakta satatam. Karyam karma, do your duty. Samachara, perfectly, very well. So this samachara and asaktam, they go together. People think that if I am detached, then I am careless, indifferent, I don't bother much. Why? I am so detached. No, detachment is not disinterest. Disinterest is escapism from my duty. 3 words are there: disinterest, desperate, detached. Disinterest is tamoguna. In disinterest, I know what is my duty, but I won't do it. That is escapism. I know that I should make my child, let us say, spiritually anchored, but I won't do it. I know that I should, let us say, myself do certain exercises, etc., so that my child looks at me also and learns. So I become a role model. I know I should do certain things so that my child will absorb. It's not only through my words, through my actions I will show. But disinterest will be, no, I don't want to do. It is my own tamoguna. For some reason I may give some so-called valid justification just to pacify my mind, but disinterest. That is called disinterest, where I know what needs to be done, but I don't do. Desperate is what? Rajoguna, which is what attachment is. Without this, I will not be happy. That is desperation. Only when the child behaves in this way, only when I get this, only when this happens, that is desperation. And detached is, I do my best, I leave the rest. That is called detachment. In that there is no indifference. Because do the best, I have to do what I need to do. Be detached. This detachment as a philosophy can be applied in everything. In relationships, in work, in everywhere. Manu Bakar, when she won the Olympic gold, did you hear what she said? One of the things she said was that in the earlier edition of Olympics, when she was trying her best, she was very anxious for the result, and so she couldn't get the gold. And she speaks very clearly, saying that the Bhagavad Gita I study, and then Karmanyevadikara says the philosophy I live by, and it says be focused on the process, not be anxious for the result. And I applied that. She went ahead and won the gold. Mahendra Singh Dhoni also speaks about that. There was one India-Bangladesh match where everybody was very jubilant, celebrating because Bangladesh is supposed to win, and now last ball, so last over they needed some 6 runs or something, and then last one ball there was 2 runs required. And very tense atmosphere. And India won that match. Mahendra Singh Dhoni went and did one, run out. So when they asked him in one interview that were you really calm or you just putting up one show of being calm? He said, I believe in this idea that focus on the process and not be anxious for the result. Result is a byproduct of the process. You focus on the process. So I was not thinking what will happen if we don't get that run. I was thinking on how to save that run there. So this detachment as a philosophy is very, very important. In relationships also one can apply that. And that's why one has to understand very clearly that love and detachment, they go hand in hand. People think that love and attachment, Swamiji, if I am not attached, how will I be loving? Because I am attached only, I can't be loving. The more I am detached, the more loving I can be. Why? Because detachment is not from the person. Detachment is not from loving. Detachment is from I, the small I. My ego, my expectation, my insistence, I have to drop that. That's all. Then that I am detached. And the more I drop it, the more happier I will be. The more attachment we have, the more sorrow we have. Directly proportional is our sorrow. Attachment and sorrow are directly proportional to each other. Greater attachment, greater sorrow. And how strange it is, still people think that, no, Swamiji, we are grahasthis, how can we be detached? Grahasthi only has to be detached. Sannyasi to anyway is detached. Who else will be detached? Grahasthi only has to be detached. And who gave this knowledge to whom? Krishna Bhagavan gave this knowledge, no? Was he a grahasthi or not? Greatest grahasthi ever. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. 16,108 wives he had. Not one wife complained that he does not give quality time to me. Think about it. Narad ji was very surprised when he went there, to Dwarka. He said, how is it that nobody is complaining? I want to check it out. Ki kaise ho raha hai? And when he went there, he saw in every room, Krishna Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan is taking care of all, everyone. So the point is, this knowledge was given by whom to whom? By Krishna Bhagavan, it was given to Arjuna. Arjuna was a grahasthi or not? And where was this knowledge given? In a Himalayan cave or in the battlefield? In Kurukshetra, when everybody is ready to fight, conches have been blown and everything, and then knowledge of the Gita has been given there because Arjuna collapsed and he asked for it. So Bhagavan said, okay. Detachment is most important. In relationships, the more detachment is there. Now the word detachment sounds very heavy duty. How detachment? So use it in a modern language. Give me my space. Take a space, use space, doesn't matter. We are not attached to the word detachment. You use the word space. Young people, they say, no, Mom, give me my space. One child became 18 years old. And I could literally see that the child is very hassled. Because the mother is still treating the child as one chunnu only. Parents, so children grow out of childhood, but parents don't grow out of parenthood. The child may be 45 years old, the father may be 70 years old, but that father will still give advice to that 45-year-old child. You give advice is still not a problem, but insist, aisa hi. So I could see that, this child is very hassled. For every little thing they are telling, Hurry, don't do this, do it like this, do it. Hurry, that 18-year-old now is becoming 18-year-old now. Fir bhi. Next year they are applying for universities abroad. And his mother is jokingly saying also, okay, I will go settle him, but he doesn't want me to come. But get the sign, he doesn't want you to come. He is going, today so many children are going to hostel only because they want to be free from their parents. How much protectiveness, oh baap re, itna control करके रखा हुआ है उसको. अरे what will happen? No, Swamiji, today's times are very different, Agree, we have to be careful of their safety, security, all that, but they will figure it out. After a point, it has to be okay. In our culture, it is said, Pancha Varshani Lalayet, Dasha Varshani Tadayet, Prapte tu Shodashe Varshe, Putram Mitravad Acharet. For 5 years, you love the child. First 5 years are the formative years of the child's, and child's self-esteem is built in those 5 years. At that time, don't try to discipline and do value installation and all that. Are 5 saal tak just love the child. The child should feel happy, secure, comfortable. Touch is very important, appreciation is very important, exploring is important, spending time is important. All that one has to do. Then from 5 to 16, Dasha Varshani Tade. Tade doesn't mean मारो इसको, परमिशन मिल गया ताड़ दो इसको एकदम. ताड़ेत means instruct, guide, teach. By the age of 10, 12, full value system is set. Major, you see any psychological research, by the age of 9 or 10, major value systems are already set. So 10 years for instruction, guiding, and after 16 years what to do? Only suggest. Putram Mitravad Acharit means it's not that a lot of people say, now my child is my friend, we are just friends. Hello, parent and child will never be friends like that. Parent is parent, child is child. That has to be clear. And some deluded parents think now we both sit together and drink. That is maturity. That is most immature behavior. Why you want to sit and drink? Do other things together. But no, they think, and that's how that has been projected also. हम अपना गम बांटेंगे, पागल लोग. And the people think also that is maturity. It is not. There is no maturity in that. It's such immaturity. Today the World Health Organization research has come now. Not even 1% of alcohol is good for the body. Not even one peg. 0% of alcohol is good for the body. Every single thing is only harmful. Still people indulge. So the point is, after 16 years, one can only inform, suggest. It is the child's choice. Certain freedom has to be given there. Interesting point also is this, this frontal lobe develops fully, properly, only around 21, 22. So, some of the choices that they will make will not be absolutely rational. But one can only guide. One cannot insist, because that will create many, many other challenges. But guide. So, that is called detachment. So, in attachment, when beloved is not so important, I am important, it will bind and it will blind, both. And think about it, attachment is what led to all the Kauravas dying or not. If Dhritarashtra was clear that because of attachment, this Duryodhan is not allowing Pandavas to have their share of their kingdom. He should have put his foot down saying, nothing doing, I am the king. You follow dharma, they will have their kingdom, you have yours, and you manage with that. His children would have been alive. But that fellow Duryodhan, he threw some tantrums and now he can't, Dhritarashtra cannot accept all that. And what are the tantrums that he throws? Maximum tantrum he can throw is what? I'll kill myself. So वैसे भी मर गया ना. All 100 children died of his. How many people died? 40 lakh people died in that Mahabharata war. All because of attachment of this. Main reason is that. Rest of it is each one's karma also. But when we are attached, we harm the lover, harm the beloved. Attachment brings its own attachments. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, when we say, they all are born out of that. Attachment is one word for that is again calm. Even a computer has virus because of attachment only. So even computer suffers, forget human being. Attachment is universally a problem. You should not have attachment at all and never justify attachment. Because that only reduces my capability of being loving. Sunita must have told you earlier the principle of choice and consequence. If these are two choices, this choice will have this consequence, this choice will have this consequence. Now you decide and deal with it. That's how one becomes independent. One makes the child also independent. And in that process, they will choose sometimes wrong thing. One is seeing also. One can tell ki bhai, this will lead to this. But if the child wants to, then karo. Go through it. Be there to support at that point in time. At that time, don't say, I told you so. Ab maine support karna. Jo, that out of love, I will support. The child also feels then, next time when one says something, one understands that my parent is there with me. I am not been abandoned. That brings that sense of confidence, self-worth, exploring, fearlessness, all that. So love and attachment, they will definitely go opposite to each other. But detachment and love, they will go hand in hand. That's why you see even in the Gita, after the whole Gita Bhagavan gave, what did Bhagavan do? What did Bhagavan say to Arjun? He said, Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. While giving instruction, he gave full instruction, saying ki tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischaya. Hence Arjun, you get up and decide to fight the war. So many places he gives him decisive answers. Do this, do this, do this. But at the end of it, finally what does he say? Your choice. Bhagavan didn't say that, 3 hours I spent, okay. Better do what I told you. And I am Bhagavan. How can you not listen to me? Think about it, when Bhagavan went as a Shanti Dut, did Kauravas listen to him? Was he able to insist? Did he show his Vishwarup and say, देखो मैं बोल रहा हूँ मैं भगवान हूँ ना, करो ये, मैं तो दिखा दूंगा मैं कौन हूँ, चक्र चला दूंगा सब पे. He didn't threaten anybody. He showed Vishwarup also, because this fellow Duryodhan wanted to capture him. He showed his Vishwarup to them. Yet they did not accept the proposal. Did Bhagavan take it personally? मेरी कोई नहीं सुनता, मैं भगवान होने का क्या फायदा? Did he say that, where did I go wrong in bringing forth this creation? Did he say like that? What did he say? उनका प्रारब्ध है, जो होगा वो करेंगे. So one very important point as parent one has to understand is, which applies in many things, other relationships also, okay, don't take things personally. We take so many things personally and then we hold ourselves responsible, beat ourselves up and feel guilty for it and condemn ourselves. Don't. Yes, if I have not done something properly, I learn from my mistake. If I have done something wrong, if I could have done. But is there not possible? It is always possible that whatever I do, I can do it more better. No? At that point in time, what is the best that I could do? Did I do or not? Bas. If I have done with the best of my intention, with best execution, whatever I could do, I did. Possibilities of improving are always there. I'll keep learning. And in that choice, and suppose I made a wrong choice for some reason, it's okay, I will learn. Why do I have to pull myself down so much? Not required. Mahabharata and Ramayana, both these epics, they teach us so beautifully this fact. Don't take things personally at all. Circumstances are there, we can learn from it, but finally it is so many people's karma which comes together, certain things happen. So detachment is to see that big picture, and detachment is to understand this, that let me be more flexible, more accepting and learn from life as it comes. Now, how do I be detached in certain specific ways? So what is the balance of love and detachment in parenting? With that we will conclude today. First point is focus on the growth of the child, not on my expectation. I may have expectation, no doubt, but I cannot insist. Gita doesn't say don't expect at all. Many people translate like that. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What is the translation given there? You have a right to work, you have no right on the result. Adhikara word there does not mean right. Adhikara word there means eligibility, qualification. We are qualified only to act. We are not qualified to control the result. Not on the expectation, on your expectation and insistence that this child has to be like this only. Focus on the growth of the child. Each child will grow differently. See, one very nice thing in Mahabharata is this. Pandavas, when you see, you can see in Kauravas also that will happen, but Pandavas specifically. Suppose I ask you, what was the weapon in which Arjun specialized? The bow and arrow. What was the weapon in which Bhim specialized? Gada. Yudhishthir? Spear. Nakul and Sahadev? Horse riding. They were expert in horse riding. So each one has their specific talent, and that is nurtured and nourished. The growth of the child is very important. Focus on the growth of the child. So support their strength, their interest, and their individuality. Each child has its own individuality. Comparing two children sometimes does a lot of injustice. Tera bhai dekh kaisa hai, tu kaisa hai. Arey bhai, that child's circumstances are different. His brother's circumstances are different. His baggage is different. This person's baggage is different. So many things are different. So individuality, strengthen their individuality and don't impose your dreams on them. That is very important. No imposing of my dreams. Second point is offer guidance, not control, that we spoke about. In certain situations where the child is very small, we have to take decisions for the child, but otherwise offer guidance and let the child decide. So detachment means trusting their ability to learn from consequences. It's a very beautiful line. Detachment means trusting their ability to learn from consequences. Detachment is not saying that I don't care what you choose, don't tell me anything, just go and do whatever, deal with it. No, I trust that ability that the child will make the right choice, and whatever choice the child makes, the child will face the consequences. I trust that ability. So detachment is trust. Detachment is not going away from the trusting factor. It is not indifference. Then correct the mistakes calmly. We always say, and criticize the performance, encourage the performer. So many times that doesn't happen. Even in leadership and everywhere one can apply this. Criticize the performance, encourage the performer. Don't criticize the performer. We criticize the performer. And that self-esteem of the performer goes. And the performance will not be any better next time. Because the feedback really should have been on performance. And why are we scared of anybody making mistake? Think about that. How much fear is there on making mistakes? And that's why people have a lot of stress. And we are more worried about char log kya kahenge. And for that char log, how much pressure one puts. No child would have learned walking without falling. Same way, we will make certain choices, they may go wrong also. Some mistakes we will make. What is there? How much fear of making mistakes? And that is what prevents a lot of people from exploring and manifesting their potential also. Because when there is freedom and you explore, sometimes there will be mistakes which will happen. It's all right. One has to learn from them. So that fear of making mistakes should not come in the child. How will I ensure that? So correct the mistakes calmly. Suppose the child has by mistake, broken something. Some glass fell down or something happened. Now I can correct that mistake in a calm way, help the child, say, take this, let us clean this up, next time be alert, whatever. Or one can fire, shout, you are so careless, you are always like this. Those kind of generalizations and those statements, they go very deep, and then the child's self-esteem is affected by that. Same thing applies to studies, report, everything. Yesterday I was seeing one Instagram reel, very funny one. It was, and the child is lying on the bed, and the father is sitting on the sofa, and the child is saying to the father, पिताजी, आप थोड़ा और मेहनत करो, थोड़ा और कमाओ, थोड़ी और सुख सुविधा दे दो हमको. And that पिताजी is saying, बेटा देखो हम जो कर रहे हैं वो कर रहे हैं, और जो आता है वो भगवान का प्रसाद है, उसमें हमको संतोष मानना चाहिए. Then slowly the child gives the report card. The father says, कितने नंबर आए? 80, 90 कितने आए? बोले, हाँ 24. अरे मेहनत कर, जल्दी जरा मेहनत कर, अच्छे मार्क ला. बोले पिताजी जो आता है हमको संतोष में रहना चाहिए. So the point is what? That was the humorous thing that happened, but the point is when certain mistakes happen, certain challenges come, then treat the mistakes as learning opportunities. The child should know that mistakes are just learning opportunities. One should not be scared of making mistakes. I be alert and act, no doubt, but treat them as learning opportunities and respond instead of simply overreacting. Appreciate, very, very important. Express appreciation. That is something that we are conducive in. And two extremes people go to. Either they go on appreciating for every little thing. I am so happy you did it, you are so lovely. Are bhai, for everything you are going on telling that it loses its value. Yeah, good job, well done. We are very proud of you. Har cheez mein mat bolo. And where it is due, bolo. There also one is not saying. So appreciate genuinely. Appreciate with. And don't think that the child's ego will get boosted, so I will never appreciate. Exactly ulta will happen. When we don't appreciate, the confidence goes down so badly. So praise the efforts genuinely and don't act to make them please you, especially when they are small children. You appreciate them so that they will do what you want them to do. No. You appreciate them genuinely for what they have done. Then, equanimity is something that one can teach. See, love and detachment balance brings a certain equanimity in the mind. When we say in the Gita, samatvam yoga uchyate, that equanimity is yoga. So when there is success, yes, one celebrates, but one doesn't go overboard. And when there is a difficult time, one feels sad, but one copes with it, overcomes it. When the child sees this balance, then that is one of the greatest lessons one can teach. And in today's world, that is very, very important. Because too much of fluctuations are happening, and why so many people going through mental health challenges is because of this, that this equanimity is not there. Everything is exaggerated a lot. Earlier, long back, breaking news used to be sometimes. Now every moment it is breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Kya breaking news, bhai? It is lost, na, that. And now so much of breaking, everything that now one is to struggle to get attention of people, because now that regular thing is not getting the attention. So when we are living in a world where there is so much of exaggeration of every single thing, even the serials and drama and everything that you see, one incident and down, 5 angles, everything has to be shown, and it's so over dramatized. But it all creates an impact. So they need to see the people who are balanced, grounded, equanimous, and definitely they should see that In success or failure, one is not resorting to something which is hurtful and harmful. Today, unfortunately, that is what happens. If one wants to celebrate, how will one celebrate today? Success matlab kya? Drink. And failure matlab kya? Samatvam yoga uchyate. Success also you drink, failure also you drink. We practice equanimity, Swamiji. Pathetic, na, that is. Why should I hurt and harm myself? Whether I am successful, I don't have a license to just do anything I want. And if I am in failure, I don't need to destroy myself. It's just one event, that's all. The world is going to hype up all this only. This alcohol and all this stuff, they will hype up. But they need to see in our life how grounded my parents are. Then I am showing detachment and love both in my life. If I show only this fluctuation, that's what anybody is anyway seeing. Everywhere in the world that is going on happening. So maintaining emotional balance is one of the best ways to be a role model for the children. And eventually encourage independence. Gradually, slowly make them independent for many things. Small choices also and bigger decisions in life also. Even relationship choices, everything. As they become more independent. So age appropriate responsibilities. One of the ways to make them independent is what? Give them responsibilities, involve them in work, tell them to go and do certain things. I don't know if today people do all that, but our parents used to give. They say, go, bring food and come, go to the market, buy vegetables, come, sit at home, and involve in all the work, dishwashing and this and that, everything. The more the parent involves the child, the more the child will feel trusted, empowered, learns, explores. Today there are how many servants doing so many things, the child is not doing anything. And the parent is feeling, my child should not go through any trouble, I want to give the best. The intention is good, but then that is not leading to empowerment. Let the child go through some things. I said earlier, in one of my earlier sessions I said, I think one of the first sessions when we did on parenting. My parents used to put me in the train as a 7-year-old child and travel from Hyderabad to Chennai alone. Jao. Of course, today times have changed completely and there is so much more threat for children, etc. I understand that. But I am saying how much one can make the child independent. The child also should know that is my goal, to become independent. Many parents treat their children as what? Future security. So they want them to be with them all the time. And that they grow, they bring up the child also with that thought process. So, love and detachment, this is the balance. One of the most beautiful expressions of love and detachment is to listen. To listen to the child and build a relationship where the child is able to come, talk, open up, express emotions, say what one is feeling without being judged. The child should feel that safe space that I can talk to my parent. As they grow, maybe sometimes they don't share certain things with the parent, they want to share with their friends, etc. That's a different point. But one is always available. And when they are not sharing, one doesn't feel insecure saying, now my child is not sharing, that means what wrong have I done? No, that is a normal process. The child grows in certain ways. They will come and share at a certain time what they feel comfortable, what they want to. They did not share every single thing. When they were small, they would share many things. As they grow, they will not. So then I need not become insecure. So listening, very, very important, and appreciate different expressions of love. Many times people love in a different way and express in different ways. Somebody will express through language, somebody through words, somebody through gifts, somebody through work. Express different ways love when it is done, accept different expressions of love. So this love and detachment balance, this is how it works. And finally ensure ki it is their journey. They will unfold whatever they have to do, they will go through. The best of things also one can give. and nothing also one may land up giving much. What is inside will manifest. So what do I have to do? Do only what is my duty and be spiritually anchored. Most important point is that. If the parent is spiritually anchored, then everything else will follow. All this what I am saying is one expression of spiritual anchoring. Kunti was spiritually anchored. See how she brought up Pandavas. Suniti, she is Dhruva's mother. So anchored spiritually. So when one is anchored spiritually as a parent, then there is a connection with Bhagwan. One knows that I am a jiva, same way my spouse, my children, my family, everybody are jivas, and each one of us have come here for a certain duration to exhaust certain karma. But we are all on our journey to realize our own true self. Adhyatma Ramayana gives one analogy that how pieces of straw come together in the flowing river and they flow together for some time, and then what happens? They will separate. Again, at some point, if they have to come together, they will come together. That is the flow of life. If one understands this very clearly, then meeting, departing, this keeps happening over lifetimes also. Then that big picture is there, and my bond with Bhagwan becomes stronger. The more stronger my bond is with Bhagwan, when bhakti comes, then possessiveness goes down, attachment goes down. When bhakti is not there, then I am clinging to other things for my happiness. When I connect to the divine and I understand the source of peace, happiness, love is in my own heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. And Bhagwan says so nicely to Arjun in the Gita that pratijane priyosi me. Bhagwan tells Arjun that Arjun, know that I love you. That is Ishvara telling the jiva. Every single jiva is loved by Ishvara because Ishvara is in the hearts of each jiva. And hence a person who is anchored spiritually. How do I become anchored spiritually? Study systematically and do sadhana daily. Two very important things. Study Vedanta systematically, get clarity about Jiva, Jagat, Jagdishwara, how essentially they are one, what is the law of karma, what is Maya, how did this creation come about, all that basic understanding of Vedanta philosophy, if one has, that comes through regular study, reflection, discussion groups, many things. And then daily spend some time connecting to the divine, whether through puja, japa, bhajan, whatever it is. And if one can do this, which is identify your Ishta Devata and do japa regularly, choose one mantra and do. Then they see you, they will also try to identify who is my Ishta Devata. Then I will start finding out my Ishta Devata's mantra. I will start doing japa. As a child, I will start doing all that. Why? Because I know my parent is connected to this particular form. This is the mantra, and how the parent is grounded because of that. So, spiritual samskar comes when they see. In time, it will fructify. At some point, one may feel, my child was so spiritual as a small child. Now he has become a youngster. Become non-believer, became this, became that. Don't worry. They will go through some phase like that. You have done what you have done in your childhood and you continue to do your sadhana. Don't doubt, don't stop. They will come back when they have to come back. And sometimes the comeback happens through their child only. Because then they will understand the need for it. Every child, many times one thinks, why my parent is doing like this, they should not have done this, they should have done like this. When they become parents, they'll do exactly what their parent has done. Because then they'll understand why my parent did, what was the reasoning, everything. So, have grounding in spirituality. Then this love and detachment balance will happen very nicely. So that's where we stop for today. Any questions, anything you want to ask, go ahead. Give the mic there, yeah. So ask the question on the mic so that people who are online listening, they can hear you. Yeah.
So
this was, I think, something that's been on my mind for a long time. Yeah. So I think in our generation, when we were growing up, I think our parents focused a lot on saving. You know, that feeling of lack was always there. You know, we, like as you said, we don't have the money for it, or we don't have the means for it, or you should save for bad times. You know, I was always brought up with that thing, and I feel like it is something that I am trying to get over with my child now, to say that you need to live in a world of abundance. There is enough for everybody. So is that a right approach, or um,
See, we have to understand that savings also can happen out of abundance. Your thought process of abundance is great, no doubt, but for that I don't have to not save, no? Because there is enough for everybody, that is one aspect. Saving is not necessarily always out of the mindset of lack. Saving also can be for out of love, out of future security, and certain things one has to be practically also doing to save. It is not that one saves at the cost of getting oneself a certain, even certain basic things or even certain enjoyments. That mindset is what will make, sometimes people have saved like that. They won't even do basic spending. Why? Because what you said, the feeling is, अगर कुछ हो गया तो तब चाहिए होगा, इसलिए अभी मत खर्चा करो. That mindset we don't need to encourage, but saving mindset we need to encourage. But save and invest in an intelligent way, because many things for future, it is a requirement, basic requirement it is. Today people are doing what? Two things that they are doing. Again, that's another extreme. One thing they are doing is take everything on credit and no saving, and everything is on EMI, and there's so much of, and suddenly one gets laid off, then what happens? If somebody else is not working or some family member is not having a certain backup, then how will one handle it? So that is one extreme. Other extreme, people are saying, no, we don't want to save on money. We want to grow in our memories and experiences. We are investing in that. So we will travel, we will do this, we will explore, we will do adventure. We will just, जितना earn किया है वो हम experience में spend कर देंगे. Again, those are extremes. So both these, lack and not having enough and insecurity of the future, and then just not saving, both are very two different extremes, in my opinion. One can save with a balance, explore, experience, and also save out of abundance, कि everything is there and I will be taken care of.
Thank you.
Swamiji, thank you so much for this beautiful session. Swamiji, thank you so much for this beautiful session. My question to you is regarding kids, like how they want to have fun always. So, to guide them to what they should be doing, like we advise them, but still they want to be having fun. So, what is the way out that
At what age are we talking about?
my son is 10 years and my daughter is 7 years. So, he always wants to have fun and not do his tasks. So,
Yeah, so what one should do is simple, tell them duty before fun, that's all. Finish homework, then you go and play. Basic few things only. Because at one age, that is what they will want to do, explore, enjoy, play, do some masti. And 7 and 10 are very small age yet. Let them do, as long as they are aware that this is what I need to do, my basic things I will finish. That one should in some ways persuade them by showing them the importance, why this is important and how this will help you in your future. And they have to also see examples of that, how people are able to do and then they are so free and happy to enjoy. When they are not doing what they are supposed to do and then they just want to enjoy, one reason is because they don't realize the importance of this. Second reason is also because they don't see, they may be seeing some people or their own peers that there is no such control on them, so that influences their behavior. Different things that, so they need to see examples of, okay, here is somebody who is excelling and doing certain things before, and then they are also enjoying and having fun. In the mind, it should never be like this, ki bhai fun and excellence can't go together. Fun and duty can't go together. We have to balance fun and duty. We should always teach them that. But in that, duty always comes before. And second thing is, if they can enjoy that duty in some ways, not everything they need to enjoy, but few things, even if they are studying, every subject they need not love, but some subjects, if the love for knowledge, love for studying comes, that is a great learning that we have imparted. So in whichever way one can impart through one's own actions, through words, through behavior, through showing them, through stories of successful people, how they were in their childhood. Different ways one can try.
So, Abhiji, sorry, one more question I had. Like for parents also, when we should be spiritually active. So, if I'm too connected to the God, so will I also become a sannyasi and I'll leave my grihastha ashram? But that is the myth which is
उसको ऊपर
there.
से आप छोड़ दो, हाँ, hold down, हाँ.
Yeah, so that is the myth.
See the
Like
myth
the
that
people
people
have.
have and people have created. Tell me, so many people are singing, so many people are doing sadhana, so many people are doing meditation. Are they all, have they all become sannyasis? No, no. That's just a myth people have. Krishna gave knowledge to Arjuna. Did he become sannyasi? He didn't become a sannyasi. Gita, in fact, Arjuna wanted to run away. Gita is saying, no, do your duty. You see? So one will not become. If I am connected to Bhagavan, I also need to know that that same Bhagavan is manifesting in this whole universe, and that same Bhagavan has put me in this role, and my duties are my worship of that Bhagavan only. So if I have clarity about spiritual knowledge, I will not have this confusion, and there will not be any challenge in that one will become sannyasi. Even if one is meditating, you see so many rishis, they are grahasthis or not. Great rishis, enlightened beings. Vasishtha Rishi is a grahasthi. We give example of Vasishtha and Arundhati. When in South India, when they do marriage, they will show Vasishtha and Arundhati as two stars. So, like that, many examples are there. Atri and Anasuya, even Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Sharda Devi. So many examples. Even our gods, they are married or not. Bhagavan himself. Shivji, Brahmaji, Vishnu Bhagavan, they all are married. So the idea is that sannyas requires a different type of mindset. Complete vairagya is very different and ideally in a grahastha ashram situation, one will do the duties, serve with attitude of karma yoga. Not necessary that all people who are doing that will become sannyasi. If it has to happen to somebody, it will happen. Otherwise, it won't. Majority, it will not happen. Because there are so many requirements for being a sannyasi. It is very difficult to live the life of a sannyasi. Vairagya has to be very high. Sense indulgence, sense enjoyments, and the steadiness of the mind, detachment, contemplative capability, all that is required. Then one will be a proper sannyasi.
Swamiji, one question. Like you said, study systematically and do sadhana daily. Like now my son is 8 and you know his sort of role models are Virat Kohli, Yami Nemal and those. But I wanted to understand how do we to do the sadhana daily because sadhana keeps one spiritually anchored and grounded. How do we, facilitate our children to do this?
So through their role models also you can tell them. Virat Kohli turned vegetarian. Virat Kohli also started doing some of the spiritual sadhanas. He went to, Kanchi Dham also, Premanand Baba also. He came to our Sidhwari ashram also, by the way. When they were last year there, Soham Desai and Virat, both of them had come to Sidhwari ashram. So show them through their role models also, how they also do spiritual sadhanas and how it will help. They can start small, children have to start small. And in a more fun way also they can learn spirituality. They don't have to sit and meditate only. They can sing bhajans, they can learn stories, they can do craft, activities, everything connected to the divine. The mind has to be connected to Bhagavan. As they grow slowly, slowly, then we can teach other techniques.
Yeah, like after the Hanuman rap, he started doing Sankat Mochan. So yeah.
See that. So that way, in a way in which it is fun, enjoyable for them and teach them that.
Hari Om. Swamiji, this indeed was very insightful. Even the worksheet was very reflective for us to know where do we stand. I have a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. I see that when my 6-year-old goes on a tantrum, my love is displaced with anger. And there it triggers. So, that's where I want, a guidance. How do we, in that situation, we still restore our love at that moment?
Yeah, so when a tantrum is thrown, at that point in time, the child is operating from a certain emotional lack of control and insistence. What is it that is triggering? One has to first identify that. Is it the child's behavior, or is it my certain expectation that the child should not do like this, or is it something in my past that I have a fear about if the child does like this, then XYZ things can happen which are not pleasant, which I have gone through. So what is exactly the cause of that anger? Because there is some specific attachment which is why anger will happen. In the Gita, that's the expression, Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. So Raga is a cause of Bhaya and Krodha. Fear and anger come out of Raga. When I get what I want, then I'm scared of losing it. When I don't get what I want, then I'm having anger. So what exactly is triggering? That I have to sit and introspect and identify. 1. 2, at that point in time, I don't have to give in to that. Even if my mind is reactive, if I can pause and say, I will decide after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it may be. Then the child also understands that every tantrum I throw is not going to result in getting me what I want. And then third is to see if anything else can be done where the child's attention is diverted, and slowly later on as the child becomes quiet, then explain why this was not required, why this one did not do for the child, and why some better alternative was done. So later on one has to explain that. But in one's mind one has to identify what is the trigger, why this happened. As the child grows, then consequences and choice is what one has to make them aware. Even from childhood, even from a young age that can happen. If you do this, this will be the consequence. If you do this, this will be the consequence. And then you deal with it. So when they throw a tantrum also, you can tell them choice and consequence. But for that, my mind has to be in a balanced state. Am I expecting too many things from the child? That is another thing I have to think about. It may not be, it may be just that the child is insisting on some tantrum. It may be the child's this thing also. But I have to identify from where am I operating. And then make them aware of choice and consequence. And make them responsible. It will happen even at that young age. Suppose they say, I will not eat this. My parents used to be like that. In our house, they never asked us, what will you eat today? Nothing. Whatever is cooked, you eat. If you don't like bangan, deal with it. And if somebody throws a tantrum saying, I am not going to eat bangan, next meal only I will not get. Saying, why did you, you can't throw food like that or reject food. You don't want to eat, you take it out and give it. So choice and consequences are told from childhood. It's not like a punishment, but it's if you don't want to eat, don't eat. But if you insult food, you will not get food. Simple, no reactive, kind of this thing, but a very clean instruction. And then we see that also. And that happens to them also. So my mother doesn't like bhindi. But bhindi is made, then she will take little and she will eat. And sometimes we'll tease also. We'll give. Then she'll eat. But she won't throw a tantrum saying, I don't like this, nothing. So then we see that, okay, the parent is also following that. And those same rules apply then to all. So that way then through teaching, slowly it will happen.
Swamiji, hi. Thank you so much for the session. Swamiji, I have a 6-year-old son. If you could just elaborate a little bit on fulfillment of basic need versus pampering, because that's a very usual conflict which we face at home, and not only at our level but even at grandparents level. So if you could just.
So basic needs are what in terms of physical basic needs, so whatever, food, clothes, a comfortable place to stay, basic necessities are for the toys, play, school, education, all that. And in terms of relationships, love, etc., there even if there is extra one is giving, doesn't matter. Where one is being, more gentle, more kind, more compassionate, little more tolerant to certain things. Pampering comes where one is, again, there's nothing wrong in pampering a child also. But the pampering should not lead to wrong habits. Pampering should not lead to making the child lazy or not putting in the effort. Then that kind of a pampering will hurt the potential of the child. In that context, pampering is wrong. Where something the child can do, but no, I'm not allowing the child to do, I will only do it, or I will only get some servant or somebody else to do. Other day I heard some people, for every child they have 2 nannies. Kitna vichitra hai bhai? 2. And one place I heard it was in Dubai somewhere. It was very weird. Because they have 8-hour shifts now. In 8-hour shift they are having 2 nannies. Why they are having 2 nannies? Because, and one of them is, is there because this, suppose one nanny is looking at this child, taking care of the child. If she has to go to bathroom, then the other nanny has to be there. Are itna? That is called pampering. Another place there was some example given, there is one belt which that small child, the child is like 3 years old only, one belt is tied here. Why? Because we have to hear the heartbeat of the child. If the heartbeat is not, it's not that he or she has a medical problem. The parent has to be there continuously listening to the heartbeat, and if there is any change in the heartbeat, then immediately we'll have to figure out something. That and all is over pampering, unnecessary. Some places people are putting up some cameras, and weird thing is that they are abroad somewhere and the child is here, and from there everything is being controlled. अब ये रूम से बाहर निकला है, उसके पीछे कोई आया नहीं, भाई nobody has come. अरे the child has just gone out of the room there, not gone to do anything hurtful, harmful, but that nanny has to be behind all the time. That is all over pampering, where the freedom only is not there for the child. So those things are where the freedom is not there, the exploring is not there, too much comfort is being given. If something is like we said, that when it doesn't even allow the child to, in our childhood we used to just happily climb some trees, play, fall sometimes, go through some whatever, You come back home and they'll help you. Today they don't allow them to go only. How to climb the child, how to climb the tree, so parent will be also standing down, somebody will be standing up and then pull the child up. Are kya hai? Is that how the tree one will climb? I'm not saying don't take care of the safety part, but explore, let the child explore. No, every single thing has to be taught. Now you put your hand here, now you put there, now you, why you are telling so much? That is all over pampering. If any other example you have in mind and if you want to know, because I don't know any specific thing.
That's sufficient. Thank you, Swamiji.
All right, so just before we conclude, some 2-3 announcements I want to make. One is we are having a very nice program called Hanuman Fest. Do you get this? ये हमने दिया, distribute किया है आज? On WhatsApp we have sent, right? So Sunday 7th December at the club, it is Hanuman Fest. Different stalls are there, activities about Hanumanji are there, and there will be satsang, there will be some kirtan also, and there will be story reading session. Supriyananji, who is the author of this Chinmay Bal Katha series of books, she will be there, so there will be book reading session. Temple run, nice. 5 temples of Hanumanji, very rare ones. About them, you will come to know. There's a nice activity associated with each temple. Some of you had come in the camp, you may know, but many of you may not know. And please remember, this is not only for small children, this is for all age groups. Suppose I ask you, do you know the temple where Hanumanji was crowned as a king by Bhagwan Ram? Do you know? It's a very famous temple and made more famous recently. Which temple? राम मंदिर अयोध्या तो अभी बना. Ocha, another reason it is. Hanuman Gadi. Hanuman Gadi is a temple where Bhagwan Ram has crowned Hanumanji as a king. Where was Hanumanji born? Where is that temple? In Hampi, in Anjanadri. Like that, there are many nice temples which are there across the country about Hanumanji. So the temple run is about that, and each temple there is a nice activity associated which you can do. So there are nice facts to know about Hanumanji, sadhanas to do, Hanuman Chalisa chanting, satsang, book reading, game stall, tattoo, food, selfie corner, spin the wheel, all this. And the entry is free, so share this with as many people as you can. Children, youngsters, elders, everybody can come. And we will do satsang that day, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. But please register for this because we need to know and make arrangements accordingly. Second announcement is that on 1st February we are having a very nice program called Chant Mumbai, Shant Mumbai. This is 108 Havan Kunds, and we are going to chant Hanuman Chalisa 21 times, and thousands of people coming together to chant Hanuman Chalisa, offer ahutis in the Havan, and idea is to pray together for success, strength, peace, prosperity. Give the pamphlets also. Chant Mumbai, Shant Mumbai pamphlets sabko de do. So, you can register for this. Please note down 1st February, it's a Sunday, it is in BKC. This is the appeal. Give the pamphlet, red color pamphlet. There will be a pamphlet there, see that. This has the registration form. This is the appeal. So if anybody wants to just come and chant, they can just do the chanting. That is Chinmay Geet Yajman. There is no contribution or anything for it. Up to 21 years, the contribution is not there for children and youth. They can just come, chant once, and offer ahutis, sit for the whole Hanuman Chalisa, do the ahutis in the Havan. Parents, if they come, and anyone about 21, if they come and they want to do Havan, there are basic contributions like 250 rupees for one chanting, etc. One chant of Hanuman Chalisa, 18 ahutis can be offered. So it's not just one time. 18 ahutis can be offered while the whole Hanuman Chalisa is happening. And so the idea is to invoke Hanumanji as the Rudra Avatara, Bhagwan Shiva, offer our ahutis, pray for success, peace, prosperity, and Hanuman Chalisa is very, very famous, very popular and powerful hymn. So many things are written in that beautifully. Tulsidas ji says, Sankata kate mite sab pira, jo sumire Hanumat bal veera. You know, bal buddhi vidya dehu mohi, harahu kalesa vikar. और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करई. So many beautiful things. भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे. So brilliant composition of Tulsidas ji. And you can register as an individual yajman, you can register as a family also and take a kund and sit and do the whole sadhana. There are many other things happening on that day there. There's some dance, there's some videos, and there's a Chinmay Amrit Yatra, a whole bus which will come, which will depict life of Puja Gurudev, the artifacts that he used. So that will also be there that day. There will be a separate kids zone. There will be an exhibition on Hanumanji. So a lot of things happening on that day. This is in the 75th year of the Chinmay movement. When we are going to do this program, it is to put all these things together, is to celebrate this occasion. Gurudev started the movement on 23rd December 1951 and next year is the 75th year. So please spread this to more and more people. The theme is Together We Chant for Peace. So that's why Chant Mumbai, Shant Mumbai. In 2009 we had done this in Andheri Sports Complex. 12,000 people or so came, and that time it was 108 times chanting, 108 Havan Kunds, whole day program. Now it is only for few hours. There is a Purva Puja before that, then the Havan will start. And there is one important thing which only Mumbai is privileged to have, which no other center is getting that privilege, is Puja Guruji Swami Tejomayanandji and Swami Swarupanandji, who is our present global head. Both of them will be there on that day and their Ashirvachan also will be there. In other centers, Guruji is not going. In 70 plus centers across the whole world, this Hanuman Havan is being conducted. So, in Mumbai, that is the extra privilege that we have. So please do come and spread the word. And for this, we will also need some of the people to come forward and volunteer. So in some few days, a volunteer form also we will send. So once you finish your ahutis, you are able to come forward and volunteer, then please do volunteer. There are lots of areas where you can offer your seva. So that is one thing. This is the appeal, and you will see the causes. So whatever funds we are raising for these causes, for rural development work, for the seva projects that we have, for educational scholarships and infrastructure for the Chinmay Vishwavidyapeeth, that's a 1,000 crore project, massive in Kerala. And a new center in South Mumbai. So a lot of these causes, so whatever donations come will be utilized for these things which are in service of the society again. And the red pamphlet that has been given, the idea is if you have in your societies any notice boards or anything that way, if you are able to put up, please put up so that so many people are bhaktas of Hanumanji, they should know and then they can come forward and register and participate. We have one nice book of Puja Guruji on parenting. So, after the class is over, if anybody wants to buy, you can buy this book. It's a very nice book on parenting, simple, beautiful instructions which can be very helpful. So that will also be available there. Any other announcement? For this Hanuman Chalisa Havan, we are also having before that Hanuman Chalisa chanting competition, which is not only for small children. Again, all the elders can take part. Hanuman Chalisa chanting we can learn and take part in the competition. The competition will be held in this zone, Prakash zone. It will be held on 11th January. So you can come. If you remember, for you the portion is full Hanuman Chalisa. For others it is small, 5 chaupais, 7 chaupais, 10 chaupais. For you it is full. So 11 January तक time है. सीख लो Hanuman Chalisa and very nice it will be to learn. Competition is only a means. The idea is to learn, memorize it, chant it daily and then take part. So all these details will also come to you on WhatsApp with the appropriate links. Please register, take part and share this with as many people as you can. Yes, last announcement is 12th and 13th of this month, next week now, November 12th and 13th. We have Swami Shiva Yoganandji from Madurai. He is an expert in Mahabharata. Very few people in this world have read the entire Mahabharata as it is full. 1 lakh shlokas it has. He has extensively read it, made his notes. He has so many books. He gives nice talks on Mahabharata. So he is coming here to do a podcast on Mahabharata. So evening time, 2 days we will be having satsang on 12th and on 13th on one very nice portion of Mahabharata which is called Yaksha Prashna. where Yudhishthir was asked questions by Yaksha and Yudhishthir answers the Yaksha. Very nice cryptic answers are there. Like one of the things he asks is, what is the greatest blessing? Yudhishthir says, health is the greatest blessing. What is faster than the wind? Yudhishthir says, mind. What is the most strange thing in this world? So Yudhishthir says that everyday beings are dying, but those who are alive, they think that they will never die. Like that, many beautiful answers he gives. So 2 evenings we will have satsang here, 6:30 to 8. Please do come and inform as many people. This doesn't require any big Vedantic background or anything like that, but very interesting it will be. So again, that detail also we will share it. Thank you. You want to conclude? Yeah. Give the mic. Okay, 7 to 8:30. Sorry, 6 to not 6:30 to 8. Shiva Yoganandaji satsang is 7 to 8:30.
Thank you, Swamiji, for this extremely enlightening talk by you. We will surely take away these useful insights and try to implement in our daily life. The simple tricks and tips that you've given us are going to go a long way in our parenting journey. In today's age and time, we parents have to constantly find ways and means to stay relevant and connected with our children, to have a seamless and organic relationship with them. Otherwise, we are bound to get obsolete. I think all of us are having this fear in our heads. So that's why we need to, seek our guidance, and we have to seek that wisdom and guidance from Swamiji. And these talks on SIP were specially designed to aid us to, ease our parenting journey. So thank you very much, Swamiji, Pankti ji, Tapan ji, Sunita Shankar ji, and everyone over here for coming for this session and enlightening us, and also being a part of this whole journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We will conclude with after the Purnamada, we will do the Arati and then conclude. And after the Arati, we will do the one group photo. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So all these, did you make announcement about the Guru Dakshina envelope? Announcement happened about the GD envelope? So the satsangs that we had so far, all of them were done. There was no contribution for it. If you feel you want to contribute anything, there's an envelope given. You can come forward, and after the Arati, offer it here. If then there's no compulsion on anybody. If you feel, then only you offer. Thank you.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की। आरती सद्गुरु की। चरणों में उनके शांति समाए। संताप हरण की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया, धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया। शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। सिद्ध बारी की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे। भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की। आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। आरती सद्गुरु की। ना तत् न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं। नेमा विद्युतो भान्तिं कुतो यमग्निः। तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं। तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। ओम श्री सद्गुरु महाराज की जय। श्री तपोवन महाराज की जय। जय 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 जय। Yeah, there is tea and snacks for everybody. So please have some tea, have some snacks, and then we can all read. Yes, after group photo though. So please do stay back for a few more minutes. Only for a few more minutes. I have I have one more request.